welcome to another installment of Plaid Stallion's Toy Ventures. This week we're going to talk about a non-licensed toy from my childhood. In fact, I'm going to kind of go on the record and say it may be one of the last toys I ever bought and played with, and that is the Alien Attack playset by a company called Toyco. Now, Toyco is not exactly a household name, and to be honest with you, I had a lot of trouble finding this set. As I recall, I found it at a drugstore in the mall where my grandparents had a store, and there was an end cap, and there were three different sets. I believe one was War, one was a Dungeons and Dragons inspired set, which I also bought, and then there was this one. So I bought two of them. I can't remember how much they cost. I would say they were under $5. But what they are is a playmat and some Army Men style figures that may look very familiar. Let's open the box and I'll show you more. So the first thing I found in here was an order form from Toyco in case you wanted to order extra parts or men. And it turns out there were 5 series. Prehistoric Adventure, which was dinosaurs and cavemen. I probably wasn't into that at that age. Battle of the First Brigade, the war one I remember. Tower of Terror was the name of the Dungeons and Dragons type set. Alien Attack. And then the 5th one was a farm play set, which is, like the dinosaurs. I probably wasn't into that at that age. The set includes a playmat and cardboard moonscape backdrops to, enhance the illusion, which I really love. And, of course, action figures, or in-action figures, I guess you'd call them. First of all, you get a generous helping of astronauts. And these astronauts probably look familiar. That's because these molds have been used dozens of times by different companies. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if you looked in some dollar stores, you could still find these guys. I've seen them under the Imperial banner. I believe that MPC released them. These really got around. But the most interesting thing about this set are the aliens themselves. These guys aren't designed uniquely for this set. In fact, what they are is miniature representations of the Colorforms Outer Space Men that were produced and designed by a man by the name of Mel Burnkrant. And I will put a link to Mel's amazing site. He is a toy designer. He's also a toy collector. So everything he had his fingers in, he has created a wonderful website and lifted up the curtain and given you everything he knows about the line, which is just absolutely wonderful. And I wish more people did this sort of thing. Really, check out this website. You will lose hours if you haven't already. This is probably why this set is so collectible, is the fact that these are miniature representations of very hard to find action figures, by the way. I remember, I think in the late 1970s, Colorforms released a Colorform set for the Outer Space Men and showed all the figures on the box. And I can remember sitting in Dominion Playworld as a kid and just staring at that box going, where do I get these action figures? Where did they come out? Are they in that box? And of course they weren't in that box. And they drove me crazy. They were amazing. And actually, I'm a little bit bitter that Colorforms decided to do that, because in the late 70s, those would have sold right off the shelves, at least in my opinion. I think what I'm going to do now is just let the toy speak for itself for a few moments, and then I'll come back in and wrap up. Musical interlude. This is the Toyco Alien Attack playset. Like I said, I had a lot of trouble finding one of these it took me a couple of years. They're highly desirable and they are quite collected by a niche amount. I look on eBay now and there's a couple of sealed sets available. They will cost you, but I'll put an eBay link in the description here. I personally love this set, even though it does remind me that I wasn't a kid anymore. You know, when I bought it, I bought it with the best intention, and I didn't really play with it very much. The one thing I really do like about these sets is there's a handle on the box, so the box basically becomes a impromptu carry case for everything. So you did keep them neat if you were a neat kid. It is one of those wonderful little bits of generic childhood joy that I love. Did you have sets like this? Do you like plastic Army Men figures like me? I would love to know in the comments or in the feedback, either on Twitter at Plaid Stallions or in our group, Pod Stallions, on Facebook. As always, thank you for watching. I really am grateful, and I really appreciate your feedback. See you next week.